Yeah, David Dread of Steel Pulse, and I'm saying hail to Lion Voice because it's time that the lion have its voice, have its own story. Says I'm stepping out here. Hear me now. Yeah, the lion's voice. Raw.
I'm Nana Farika. The time has come for the lioness to tell her story from her viewpoint and tell the world who Queen Omega is. This is the lion's voice.
Listen,
Yes.
remember, Ethiopia was always on the defensive because they know that the colonial powers wanted this spot of ground. The Pope wanted it because it was the seat of David. It had the
Yes.
throne, it had the Ark of the Covenant, it had the scepter of the world empire, it had the golden globe representing the lordship over earth. It had all the things that pertain into Christ and his second advent. So Rome didn't want it, and all these wars in Ethiopia was about capturing this spot of ground
Yes, I.
for for the Pope in Rome. And we know when Mussolini and them invaded Ethiopia, that was their intent also. But we are at
Yes.
coronation. I mean, we have to rewind to the death of Empress Zaditu. Because when
Yes.
Zaditu died in April 1930, the Negus Tafari would have been crowned the next day.
Yes.
But it could not have happened because then this coronation was not equated to Menelik or Johannes nor the other 200 odd kings. This coronation was one of higher significance. So therefore, the scepter, the triple crown, and all these symbolic appurtenances of the coronation had to be done and done with expert craftsmanship. So if it's England the best craftsman there, if anywhere in them there, they had to be found. The garments, the imperial vestment had to be specially done.
Yes.
The diamond encrusted rings, the scepter, the sword of steel, all these things had to be embellished to look as regal as they would have looked for the King of Kings and the Queen of Queens.
The year is 1892, and the land of Ethiopia has been experiencing 4 years of terrible famine and drought. They call it the Kikuken, or the evil days. At least 1/3 of the human population and 90% of the cattle have died. The hyenas have feasted on so many carcasses that they have become overweight and barely able to move. Just when the people could take no more of the evil days, a woman named Wasiro Yeshimabet is giving birth in a place called Ergersa Gora. This is her 9th attempt to bring forth new life. Her previous 8 attempts only resulted in death. Will this child live? Thankfully, a healthy baby boy is born. His first cries are drowned by thunder and lightning flashes across the night sky. The heavens open up and torrential rain starts to fall. Ethiopia's drought is over, and the baby boy is given the name Tafari, meaning one to be feared or respected. Lich Tafari's father, Ras is a very important man in 1892 Ethiopia. Although he is overjoyed at the birth of his newborn son, he cannot spend much time with him. Ras is the governor of Harar and must get back to the famous walled city to deal with its affairs. Furthermore, he is the foreign minister of Ethiopia, and having traveled to different places in Europe, he is very aware of the material and military advances they have made and the looming threats they pose to his country. Ras knows that the majority of Ethiopians have no idea what is coming, and that he has to work that much harder to secure the realm. Lich Tafari would grow up to become the legendary emperor, Haile Selassie I. To understand his journey, we must first understand the Ethiopia that he was inheriting and what it was like when he was born in 1892. Get your copy of Kwesi Bansu's book, Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1, The Rise of the Priestly Warrior Kings, and increase your knowledge about the history, politics, and culture of Ethiopia in 1892, and how it connects to the rest of African and world history at the time. Haile Selassie I, Ethiopia, Volume 1 is available for purchase at www.bookmanexpress.pub. Please visit for more information.
So, Lion Pride, I want to just welcome one of our Rastafari elders, Asian, who inspired on the trad. This is one of the brethren who, when I was a young university student, and I was listening to the elders. I loved the elders, how eloquent they were. But when I saw this younger Ras, and is a man who loves citing sources, and as a scholar, I really love that, because he might tell you which book him, and it was so inspiring to and I know so many other brethren who are also inspired by this brethren. So we're very honored to have him here. Right now, this is November 2nd. This will be going to the world. So this is how we're going to celebrate the Coronation Ras Tafari Independent Non-Aligned Media, is that we are going to do a deep dive into the coronation, the reasoning. These were the reasonings that the elders used to have, with chalice and, all night into the wee hours, and every man have them different facts. And these are the things that we are losing because of technology and the youth's them attention divided. So if we can bring these things here, to us, it's a great strength to be able to provide a little slice of, as part of our tradition and heritage. So I just want to say welcome, Ras Ivi, second time on the platform. And I'm really excited about this one. The brethren will know how me work for that one, yeah.
Yes, Yes, the jazz man. Ready?
Yes, I.
Yeah, man, give thanks. We give thanks to the moment. It's the eve of the grand coronation. But I know that months before today, ones were journeying from all distant provinces in Ethiopia. On horseback, on muleback, donkey back, on foot, on lion, on every animal that could bear an individual, depend on your rank. You depend on your rank, you have your nice fancy dress horses with your army and everybody with them. Ethiopia don't leave arms. They were going to the grand coronation, but they were armed to the teeth.
Yes.
So the king of Wallo, the king of Aksum, the king of the Gambia, the king of Showa, everyone was moving towards Addis Ababa, the new flower.
It was a great concern whether or not war would break out.
Listen,
yes.
Remember, Ethiopia was always on the defensive because they know that the colonial powers wanted this spot of ground. The Pope wanted it because it was the seat of David. It had the throne, it had the Ark of the Covenant, it had the scepter of the world empire, it had the golden globe representing the lordship over earth. It had all the things that pertain into Christ and his second advent. So Rome didn't want it, and all these wars in Ethiopia was about capturing this spot of ground.
Yes,
for the Pope in Rome. And we know when Mussolini and them invaded Ethiopia, that was their intent also. But we are at coronation. We have to rewind to the death of Empress Zaditu. Because when Zaditu died in April 1930, the Negus Tafari would have been crowned the next day.
Yes.
But it could not have happened because then this coronation was not equated to Menelik or Johannes nor the other 200 odd kings. This coronation was one of higher significance So therefore, the scepter, the triple crown, and all these symbolic appurtenances of the coronation had to be done and done with expert craftsmanship. So you know, if it's England the best craftsman there, if anywhere in them there, they had to be found. You know, the garments, the imperial vestment had to be specially done.
Yes.
The diamond encrusted rings, the scepter, the sword of steel, all these things had to be embellished to look as regal as they would have looked for the King of Kings and the Queen of Queens. The country itself had to be renovated. Palaces had to be built because dignitaries from all over the world had to come.
And it was a major show of strength because His Majesty says in his autobiography that in times past, you know, the once a king died, the new king was announced immediately, so there was no gap. You know what I mean? And because he was so, you know, strong in terms of his position in the country at that time. Because remember in 1916 there was a civil war. Ras Mikhael invaded. You know, so it was a recovering country. In 1928 you had, you know, lot of intrigue and different things. Even as he was elevated to Negus, it was to quell certain vibration in the country.
And I remember as regent plenipotentiary since 1916, he had traveled many parts of the earth and stamped his mark as a crown prince. He visited Europe, visited all these countries, and returning with a brilliant idea of modernization and all, continue with Menelek's role of getting Ethiopia up to speed. So he was known then, Tafari Makonnen, and sending invitations out had to be part of his crowning. So he sent out a total of 700 royal invitations.
Well, great is the Almighty, and greatly to be praised in the city of Haile Selassie I, the mountain of His holiness.
Yeah, from Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, you know, the whole entire continent.
Beautiful for situation, the joy of the whole earth is Mount Zion, from Accra to Addis Ababa.
Yes, it's a beautiful continent, better control, mama.
Very beautiful.
From Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile. From
I hear you call Mama Africa. Been so long since I seen Mama. Father of Africa set the law. The lion come and dismantle Babylon flaw. We gonna use solar energy, use sanitation to build the ecology. We utilizing green technology. We hailing Haile Selassie first without apology. And then we build the youth them economy. We dismantle Babylon monopoly. We teach the youth them how to live properly. Tell them make sure them got the title fit them property.
yes, this beautiful continent, better control, mama. Cape to Cairo, from Timbuktu to the Nile, I smile for mama.
I love you, mama, your heart never harden. I wanna turn all your slums into garden. I wanna stop all of your youths from starving. I wanna stop all of your tribes from warring. So much to say, so many feelings. We both been hurt, we both need healing. Since the League of Nations you've been appealing. You stand up against them backdoor dealing.